My name is Declan Miller. My mob are Aranda and Amajida from Central Australia, and I'm the writer and illustrator for Mixed Feelings.
My name's Serafina Newbury. I'm Aranda, but I grew up in a family of Pitjantjatjara, and I wrote Exo Dimensions.
My name is Alyssa Mason. I was born on Aranda land in Alice Springs. I illustrated Storm Warning.
My name is Lauren Boyle. My mob is from the NT, and I am Nabunanga on my great-grandmother's side and Napachimpa on my great-grandfather's side. I wrote Storm Warning.
I started drawing graphic novels when I was in year 8. After a while, my teachers started to notice that I wasn't doing any schoolwork. So I decided to take my book and show it to Wendy Cowan, one of my teachers in a after-school program that I was doing.
When Declan approached me with a story that he was writing a graphic novel on, we'd just been out on country with some elders and a geologist and some artists. And so when Declan showed me his story, I could see some of those elements coming through. And so I said, okay, show your peers, see what they think about what you're doing, because they're, your age, they'll have a different take on it than me.
She was originally the one who sort of grabbed me and Lauren and said, hey, do you want to go to this little workshop with me and Declan? She knew that I really liked to draw and knew that Lauren really liked to write, so she thought it was a really good idea to sort of bring us along.
And suddenly we had a production team happening. So we had science researchers, we had cultural researchers, we had background artists. Declan was driving the project, but he had this production team around him.
It just became this big thing, and then it became Stick Mob. Like, yeah, it was crazy.
I see the potential of what Stick Mob do and the potential for it, both for Stick Mob but also for the wider world to hear these stories and see how important they are.
I got involved in this graphic novel project through Declan. I was doing backgrounds for him on his graphic novel Mixed Feelings. And then I later joined up when we were doing a workshop, meeting one of the graphic novelists, Brenton McKenna. And that's where I joined up with Alyssa and Lauren, and we all decided we had to make our own books alongside Declan's.
When I went to Alice Springs and met Lauren, Serafina, Alyssa and Declan, they were the real thing. They had everything planned out. They had something really workable. They had a really great project. My mentor, Wolfgang Bilsma, who was also part of the project, every time I meet Wolf, I learn so much from him. I learn so much from his creators.
I first got involved in the graphic novel mentorship program with the ILF when Wendy Cowan, who was one of the students' teachers, first reached out to me a few years ago. When the ILF came on board, it meant that we were able to do things like have an in-person workshop in Alice Springs.
ILF helped pay for Wolfgang and Brenton and Justin to help us and mentor us into making these graphic novels.
We were there to sort of help them handle the language of comics and sort of teach them, or at least guide them as best we can on how that language operates.
Having the workshops and being able to work together was key. I don't think we would have been able to do it without all four of us, because we all just helped each other. Like if someone, especially like with Declan, because he knew a lot around the tablets, he was key in helping us get used to doing that, introducing us to all the techniques and everything.
I learned how to properly structure my characters and illustrations, because back then I didn't know how to draw backgrounds and inanimate objects. It was all just characters, characters and characters.
In the workshops we learnt how to structure the pages, illustrate and design the characters.
We gave as much guidance as we could, but a lot of the fun that I got from it was seeing their creativity breathe and explode on the page. There was some wild things that I got to sort of help colour and conceptualise. It's such a fun project.
It was key because we all sharpened our skills in different areas.
That's a very important element of Stick Mob, is that we are a mob, we are a crew, we are a creative team.
We want to support people and we want to create a space where they feel like, anything's accepting.
So my job is to hold that space for people to write their own books, finish their books, celebrate their books, and have them out in the world so that people can see what amazing job they do and what important stories they tell.